If you have a hard time with boundaries, how might your life be different if you could say no as easily as a joyful yes? I'm Love Coach Mariya, and for over a decade now, I've been encouraging folks to empower their compassion so it's big enough for ourselves as well as others, and so our boundaries can become healthier than ever. You're listening to Empower Your Compassion, and on this show, we'll be unlocking transformative insights to help you reconnect to your true yes, so you can say no from that more expansive energy and get more of what you want in your relationships and your life without sacrificing your compassion. Are you ready for more love? Let's grow. Hello, friend. Welcome back to the show. Last week, a colleague and I shared about how boundaries show up on the entrepreneurial journey. And this week, I want to broaden that a little bit and talk about the role of boundaries on any career path. If you've been following me for a little while, you know that I'm really driven to counter the common notion that we have to sacrifice our compassion in order to become empowered and boundaried. And I'm here to spread the truth that when we empower our compassion, it becomes big enough for ourselves as well as others, and our boundaries become healthier than ever. In addition to that, I also want to encourage stronger leadership on an individual level and within corporate values. A lot of people have this idea that if they say yes to every opportunity or request and make themselves available at all times, they'll fast track their career. But unfortunately, this just leaves you spread thin and not very effective. What the data is bearing out is that professionals who are strategically boundaried, those who know not only how to say no, but what to say yes to in a way that optimizes the resources available to them, are the ones who are thriving in their careers as well as their lives. Studies are consistently proving that working smarter beats working harder or longer or more. And increasingly, after the most fixed resource of time, our most precious resource is our attention. The more intentional and strategic we are about what we focus our attention on, the more productive and successful we become. Of course, this means saying no to what is not aligned with your strategic objectives so that you can reserve your yes for the most impactful uses of your available resources. And one great way to support this type of decision making is to have a framework in place that clarifies your priorities and helps you focus on the most valuable activities. In case you missed it, or if you're new to me, I've created the Gates method for developing healthy boundaries. I called it that because most people's boundaries tend to show up as either flimsy fences, where we say yes too often, or spiked walls, where we say no too harshly. But there's a third option that functions more like selective gates, where we communicate about our limits without disconnecting from the other person. We draw our boundaries around behaviors instead of people, and we effectively hand over the keys to accessing us through the gates that we've installed. And so the Gates method was born, and it stands for ground, assess, trust, express, and steward. And now we're going to apply it to workplace productivity. For the first step, you ground in your body and your values. In a work context, you can start by centering yourself. I have a great exercise for that, by the way. Hit me up if you're interested. And revisit the core values of the project at hand or your targets for this quarter. Next, you'll assess your capacity and your true yes. This might mean reviewing your actual available resources, not just wishful thinking, deadlines, financial budget, support staff, etc., and reconnect to the desired outcome that inspires you. Then you want to remember to trust in the other's ability to manage. When emails keep coming in after hours, or you get invites to meetings that you'd be stretched to make, or people ask you for things that don't serve your end goals, remember that being strategic about your attention will be more beneficial to the company or project or your business than being endlessly available. And trust that your team can get on without you while you're doing your part, or that your clients will actually be best served by you staying resourced. And then comes expressing your no without disconnecting. Turn down misaligned invitations and requests clearly and kindly. You don't have to go into lengthy explanations, but you can offer alternatives or add a little context so they don't feel shut out. And lastly, steward your precious resources. Put focus blocks in your calendar that you honor like any other appointment. Be really clear and upfront with your team and clients about your availability so your boundaries don't get tested as much. And be consistent about sticking to it so you model healthy boundaries and generate a culture of trust and respect. If you want to learn more about how to become a more strategically boundaried person at home or at work, go to explorelovingboundaries.com and grab a spot on my calendar for a free call and real support. And if you happen to be interested in supporting your whole team in developing strategic boundaries, I'll drop a special link in the show notes for you to learn more about a boundaries masterclass I offer. Wherever you're at on your journey, I send you love and courage. Namaste.